Hello, my name's Bev and I'm the author of the book Please Eat, A Mother's Struggle to Free Her Teenage Son from Anorexia, which describes our family's battle with the deadly eating disorder, anorexia nervosa, which my teenage son Ben developed back in 2009 when he was just 15 years old. This post is from the 3rd of January 2012, and it talks more about the university's disrupted studies form, which I discovered just after Christmas, and you'll find that in a couple of videos below this video. And hopefully the disrupted studies form would allow for glitches in Ben's A-level grades as a result of struggling with the eating disorder, and also to take into account the massive amount of school that he missed purely and simply because of the eating disorder. And this post is called Back to the University's Disrupted Studies Form. Q version 1 zillion, as I attempt to construct the framework for Ben to write a supporting statement for the disrupted studies form, explaining more about how the anorexia has affected his studies over the past 2.5 years and why. When I say framework, I mean something that he can take and put into his own words. It's important to get this right. After all, the university knows very little about Ben's background over and above the limited space allowed on the UCAS university application form. It's difficult to know what to say without appearing to be too dramatic or risk appearing to hype things up. You and I know this illness is so incredibly alien to anything the normal brain can comprehend, with a mammoth learning curve, that although we know that I am not over-dramatising things, I worry that it may seem like this to the so-called uninitiated. Or maybe I haven't gone into enough detail. Mind you, I expect the university will have come across other students with anorexia in its time, so there may be some level of understanding. Basically, I've attempted to explain how the illness meant that Ben missed enormous chunks of schooling between summer 2009 and now, which doubtless affected his ability to study effectively and may affect his final A-level examination results in the summer. This will be supported by an additional statement from the school and another from his psychiatrist. The thing is, I know Ben is easily capable of succeeding on this particular degree course at this particular red brick university. The problem is convincing the admissions tutor that this is the case. If the form does its job, then there might be slight flexibility as regards exam grades. Not massive flexibility, but at least some. In an ideal world, Ben will get the 3 grade A's required to take up the offer they have already made him. But it all hangs firstly on the AS level resits he has to do next week and the week after, and then the actual A-level exams themselves in the late spring. Ben is even prepared to visit the tutors in person if they will see him, to sell himself to them. But I very much doubt if they'll agree to that. And that's the end of that post. So this was actually the first year that Ben's first choice of university, which was Sheffield University, had introduced this disrupted studies form for people, well, as it's self-explanatory, whose studies have been interrupted by an illness or a number of other issues. And the disrupted studies form is still available, as you'll see in the images on the screen. So it's still going strong. And I don't think it's available at every university. I got the feeling it's unique to Sheffield. I might be wrong. But it is a brilliant form. I mean, it's really good that they make concessions to take into account pupils, or students rather, whose studies may have been disrupted through no fault of their own, so they may not get the grades that they are capable of getting. Not massive leeway. It's not a case of, Ben's offer said he had to get 3 A's and they would let him in on 3 C's or whatever. No, it's not like that. It's just maybe, a bit of flexibility. So anyway, in January 2012, we were busy filling out this form and trying to get it just right. It was so important that we got it right. So thank you for listening. You'll find a link below to my blog, and you'll also find a link to my website where you can download free PDFs of my blog, and also a link to Amazon where you can buy a copy of my book.